Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Megan Miller,
And this is Joe Smith.
and we are here again for Wheel Decide Wednesday. Are we ready to spin the wheel?
Yes, let's spin that wheel.
All right. And for those of you who don't know, this is a special feature of the Do Better podcast. And our wheel is so full. I love it.
I know.
Thank you, Joshua.
I love this. Like, I can't even read like what it's saying.
What could we know about COVID? What perfect, Liz. It's like you influence the wheel somehow.
I need to speak my piece.
All right. I think it's my turn to go first. So I'll go first, and then Joe will go, and then anybody who's watching from the collective, if you'd like to share, feel free. You do not have to speak for 2 minutes and 30 seconds though, unless you really want to. All right. So for me, and I keep saying this, I'm so sick of hearing about the numbers. It's not helpful. It's not helpful information at all. I want to know more about the context, like the people that are getting it, who are vaccinated, like where are they getting it from? What's different? Why? The people who end up in the hospital, what was going on for them health-wise? Like, do they have comorbid conditions? Are they certain blood type? Are they living a certain lifestyle? The people that die, like, give us the information about the factors that actually matter at this point. It's been around for almost 2 years. Like, how are we not getting this information? I don't understand. And then of course, from like the, transmission aspect, I don't care if masks are effective or not effective. Like, I don't care at this point. I want to know, in what environments are people contracting this? Like, okay, we know closed spaces, like common sense, right? Like things can spread or whatever, but like outdoors, larger enclosed spaces, like where are we most, like, what's the probability at this point? We should be able to, like, I should be able to go to a website and type in the size of a space and the number of people and get the probability that COVID would be an issue there. Like, we should have that much information on it at this point. So those are the things I think we should be able to know. Cause like, this isn't, it's, Sarah said this a few times, Trotman, like, this isn't a pandemic at this point. It's an endemic. Like, it's here. It's not going away. We're not in a space where it's like, oh, shut everything down and this thing will disappear. And I think the framing back when they did the shutdown initially, it was framed in a way that people maybe thought that's what was going to happen. Like, oh, if we all just stay home, this thing will be gone. Like, COVID isn't a virus that already exists. Like, it's a thing. It exists in this world. So instead of acting like we're going to live our lives and stay like hermits and just the thing will disappear, we need to learn how to safely live our lives and exist on this planet. We all only have so much time left to live. So how do we do the things that provide for a happy, joyful life in a way that doesn't put ourselves or others at risk? And what does that mean? Like, everyone has to get vaccinated? Yes or no? Like, what are the things that have to happen? And then do it. And like, stop just telling us the numbers. All right, that's my rant about that. And I'm just saying, like, obviously I say that with like, that's my opinion, that's my perspective. People could totally disagree. I'm not 100, like, I'm obviously not like the end all be all. Those are just my thoughts on it.
I love it, Megan. I absolutely love it. All right, so I'm setting my alarm for 2 minutes, 30 seconds. All right. So for me, my take on it is, yes, I am tired of the numbers because they're not helpful. All it, like, for me, I feel like the numbers is just a scare tactic at this point, trying to scare you into like conforming to whatever they want you to do, the government, whatever. I want to know the behaviors that put us more at risk. Like, what
Behaviors?
Yes, there we go. What behaviors do we do as humans put ourselves more at risk? What behaviors can we be doing right now to help us have a better immunity and better outcome at not contracting COVID. Like for me, like I'll listen to Mind Pump podcast right now, and I absolutely love these guys. And I totally agree with them with the fact that the number one predictor of what will help, what behavior will help to not contract COVID or have symptoms that are less life-threatening is working out, eating whole foods, and minimizing stressors, and also sleeping. I feel like those are like general like overall health and fitness behaviors that everyone should be engaging in anyways. That it does help out with your overall immune system. It helps out with making sure you're living an active and healthy lifestyle, and it's just really good for you. And I feel like that's like something that we as a world, the United States, whatever, we should be striving towards, is making sure that we do whatever we can in our power to make sure we protect ourselves as best as possible. And wow, I did not realize I went on 2 minutes and 30 seconds about just weightlifting and working out. But yeah,
not get COVID.
Yeah, to not get COVID. Like I just want to know, like, what behaviors do we have to do that will better protect ourselves and our families? Like, that's what I'm that's at this point, that's what we should be worried about, is like, what can we do better?
Yeah. And that's like, you said that, you articulated that so much better than I did with my rant. Like, the numbers are not behaviors. Like, this literally does nothing. Even some people have been talking about like the various mask studies that are coming out or whatever, trying to show like which masks are effective and which masks aren't. And I'm like, we need to operationally define what these people are doing. Are the masks being worn properly? First of all. Second of all, how close contact are they? What else are they doing? And like having things like a list of things that we know put people at risk of contracting COVID. Like, they have that 5-minute situation. Hello, buddy. And they have, obviously, like, if you have some way of like the coughing or spray, like that getting in the air. So looking at whatever list of behaviors, like you were saying, Joe, that could put people more at risk. And even when they're doing these studies, they should be collecting data on whether or not those things are happening to better inform whether or not like a mask is effective or this or that. Cause it's like, they're looking at one small thing and then looking at the numbers. And it's like, there's so much more going on than that. Like, you can't, this is not helpful information at all. I don't understand. Anyway, so the best I can do, at least for me, is like do the things I've learned, like you were talking about around like health and everything with immune systems in general. Mm-hmm. We all, like, it's well established that being stressed, eating unhealthy, not having the proper like diet and nutrition contribute to illness, period.
Which, regardless, we have like an obesity epidemic like in our country, where so many people are overweight, and it leads to other health issues down the line. We all should just be focusing on trying to arm ourselves, like protect ourselves with better nutrition, better sleep. It's not easy. I'm not saying like, oh, that will solve all our problems, like eating well and exercising, but I'm saying it helps our overall health. And it also gives us a more vital, like it just creates our life so much more fuller too, I feel like, if you do those things.
Yeah. And what's interesting too is, like we were talking about with stress, that lowers it. And then like, think about how ridiculously stressed people are right now, because we can't get back to normal life.
Exactly.
It's like this like self-fulfilling prophecy, because people's immune systems are crap because all this stuff. Joshua said Delta has an of 6 or something, and I'm an idiot and don't know what that means. Am I supposed to know what that means?
I have
It
no idea what that
it
is.
spreads so much quicker than.
Well, I knew it spread quicker, but I don't know what that terminology is. Joshua's always making me be like, I need to look up things more. Elizabeth said more self-care. Liz, Leslie, Yvette, do any of you have thoughts? What things you think we need to know about COVID?
I mean, I agree with Joseph. Like, what things can we do besides staying home? Because I'm done staying home. You know what I mean? What other behaviors besides that? Because that isolation, and that definitely affects your health, right? Like, if you can't go outside, even just like in my experience, going on a jog because I have my kid at home, you know, because they can't go to school. I mean, this year changed, you know, the kids are back at school, but those are the types of things where it's a lot. And like you, I stopped paying attention to the numbers a long time ago. A long time ago, because
Yeah, I don't
stresses
watch
me out, and I don't even know, you know what I mean? I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it means nothing. I don't watch the news or anything, and like even my Facebook feed for whatever reason doesn't. So for all I know, like COVID doesn't actually exist, especially in Florida. It's just like not a thing. But I don't behave that way, right? Like
Yeah,
I still
you're
do
doing
the same things,
Mhm.
but like it doesn't, it's not weighing on me. It's not stressing my mind because I'm not constantly like infiltrated with like information about it. So Joshua is in New Zealand. And see, this is oh man, I'm gonna really, you guys are gonna be like, Megan's gone insane. He says, we're in lockdown again at the moment with the goal of elimination. So COVID and RO values are back in the news. First of all, if New Zealand can't do it, which had 0, and they're back in lockdown, like there's no hope for anyone. So can we just move on? Like, come on. All right, Liz and Leslie, sorry, it's already 7:50. Anything you'd like to add?
I'll be really quick. I think I've already spoke my piece earlier about vaccinations a little bit. But the other thing is too, is I think people need to remember and just have a little bit of grace with, that seems to be my theme for 2021, have some grace, like that, you know, the beauty of science is that science changes and it evolves and we learn more and it never stays the same. And that just have a little bit of patience as things change and we learn more and people have to adapt to those things. So when we decide that new things come into view, we can just, you know, roll with them instead of just being like, well, but we said this, but we all hit this with no knowledge of this a couple of years ago. So let's just learn,
Yes.
That's true. I mean, at one time we all believed that the earth was flat, you know? We got to roll with science.
Wait a minute.
Oh, now you're going to lose us.
Wait, you guys aren't in the Flat Earth Society? What? Just kidding.
The beauty
All
of
right.
science. The beauty of science.
Leslie, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I mean, I don't really look at the numbers, but I'm married to a physician. And so it's part of our life. And
Yeah.
our clinic had a COVID outbreak. So it's part of my day to day, but I'm all with and I have been for years, vitamin C, D, zinc, all that stuff, work out, eat healthy, all those things. And I've lost count of how many people I've come in contact that I should have had COVID and I have yet to have it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Also
Knock on
vaccinated.
wood, and yes.
Yeah. Doing all the things. And I heard someone say it was like Swiss cheese. So, you know, you wear your mask, you get your vaccine, you do all these things and try to build layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Eric is also team flat earth and says the earth is not flat. Facebook Live. Just to clarify, neither of us are actually saying that. I know you're not on video, but Deshire, if you have anything you want to add, feel free to type it in the chat or put your microphone on. And then of course, like one of the other pieces around it too is just like we're all talking about this from our positions and whatnot, but like how it's affecting other parts of the world. And then, you know, even in the United States, like we already have known for a long time that it's affecting certain communities more than others. So like we talk about how stressed we are, about it, and it's like so much worse in other places. So that's another thing, like I don't think you hear hardly anything about. Certain people might bring it up, but like again, they're just reporting on the numbers. Like what about the ongoing negative? Like it's just further and further dividing and entrenching these like monetary and socioeconomic, like mental health, like all these things that already existed as gaps and issues are just getting worse and worse the longer this goes on. So anyway, but the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 7:53. So we're going to go ahead and close out from this and get ready for the weekly meeting with Megan. That's me. Tonight we're doing problem solving, teaching learners to problem solve. And we're actually going to talk about that this time, I think. And when we have on Saturday, we have our mentorship meeting, and it's with Beth Cheney. She's going to be talking about implementation of a Do Better initiative at Meaningful Milestones, the company she works for. And that's going to be really fun. That's at 10 a.m. Everyone is available, like allowed to join that one. Usually it's just Trailblazers, but everyone in the collective is allowed to join. And then we'll also be streaming it on Facebook Live. So hopefully we can have some fun learning about what they're doing there. So I think that's all we have for this week. So I will see hopefully some of you in a few minutes in the meeting with me. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.